Today, the ultimate upgrade comes in. It's gonna make my 2015, almost a 10-year-old BMW come to life and become a like-new 2024. And I can give you a little Easter egg here. I'm on the inside of the car because it deals with the interior. It's going to change the entire vibe of how I drive, and that's really all I'll say. And although I left you guys in a little bit of a shocker there because you don't know what's gonna happen, I want to show you another modification that I actually did. I recorded a little bit of it, but it wasn't much, just because there wasn't much to show, but I'll show you now. As we can all probably tell, I'm very obsessed with this car. And I want to put so much carbon fiber on it, I want to put so much Alcantara on it, make it mine. I have decided to put carbon fiber mirror caps on it and replace the gloss black. So that's been done. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, it's here and I'm ready to show you guys. Like I said, this is going to transform the way this car looks, feels, and the overall just like, I'm just so excited, honestly. You can probably see in the background. You can't. This is what we're installing, a digital cluster. One of my biggest things is that I love newer cars, but obviously I can't afford newer cars. And I love the digital cluster. I love when everything's digital, except for a few things. Personally, if the AC and stuff like that is not digital and it's more like analog, I love that. To have an analog speedometer, oil temp, and gas mileage meter, it just is not for me. I like to be digital. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this, install it, and hopefully the install is actually gonna be pretty easy. So this is a digital cluster from Amazon, priced at about $800. Now there is one that you can also get. It's a 6WB digital cluster. It is a completely different layout and needs some serious coding to it. So this box comes with this wire that I'm holding currently, and all that is to update the software within the digital cluster. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you do have to update the software, but lucky for me, I won't ever have to. This is a prevention in the fact of it ever having to be. Now, it also comes with obviously the digital cluster and then a whole manual sheet on how to work everything. Actually, you know what I just realized? You probably don't have to take off the battery because we're not messing with any airbags. Yeah, I'm dumbfounded by this clip as well. Listen, it's always best, especially if you're messing with electrical stuff on a car, especially BMW, to always disconnect the terminal side of the battery in prevention of any short circuiting. So, you're about to find out what happens if you don't disconnect the battery. So, if I'm not mistaken, there's just two wires back here, and that's it. Well, two wires meaning jumbled up wires, two connections. So trying to get it out without taking off the steering wheel, because obviously if you take out the steering wheel, it's probably gonna be like way freaking easy. But there's not a lot of room to work with, I'm gonna be honest with you. So for everybody wondering, this is what the wire configuration looks like back here. So this is what's actually behind everything. I'm not really sure what this blue one is here, but these two I'd assume are probably acting like an HDMI cable for the thing. And obviously you can see everything else that's behind there. Look, some really good news. This is all plug and play. Now guys, the biggest thing when you're dealing with this stuff is that you have to make sure that if you are going to do it yourself, you have to make sure that this guy is virginized, meaning it's never been used. Or if it has been used, get somebody to code it to be new. You pay a lot of money for these for that reason. If you, for instance, get one that is not virginized, you could have a permanent tamperage dot on the mileage and the car, which it will never go away. The only way to maybe get that back is to obviously put the OEM one in and then theoretically give someone to code it if they're able to. It's not 100% guaranteed. So just get one that's virginized, spend the money, and you know, let's have fun with this. Let's actually see what this is like. I kind of want to do a double check to make sure that the wires were in before I actually placed it in, but unfortunately, I don't think I can get this back out. So I've screwed in the two T20 screws up here. Everything is plugged in. Go ahead and just turn on the ignition. Not the car, just the ignition. Oh my. Oh, that is so cool. That is so freaking cool. Oh no. Wait, vehicle inspection service too. Okay, these are all the same things. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. That is so cool though. It's not... Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That is not good at all. Yeah, so let's just say that this is one of the moments where I've learned these digital clusters, no matter if they're a plug-and-play or not, from a former BMW tech, they all need to be coded to the VIN number to the car. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems like this. So this video is all about learning, especially with implementing something that is very new. The worst part about this install, honestly, was to get the wires in. Now, obviously, this is not appearing to be as easy to get out as the OEM one, but screw it, whatever. The only thing that's really not correct right now is the time and date. Everything else is set right. The mileage, which I was the most scared about, is working very, very well. Everything else, man, it's pretty straightforward. I'm very, very happy with it. So, I still haven't turned the ignition on, but I guess we can go ahead and do that. I don't think there's gonna be anything wrong if I do. Sick. Lights flashing. I'm certain it's probably from the gas or something or whichever. Hope it's not something more serious because it's still flashing. Let's give it a little rev. Uh-oh. Nothing can be easy. It didn't rev. It didn't show that it was revving, and I didn't rev it a lot, but it didn't show that it was. Okay, so it is plug and play until you get to the software part. And since nothing was really working with that cluster, I decided to unplug the battery for about 10 minutes. Okay, so luckily I have made connections in my life, and a former BMW tech had told me to unplug the battery or the negative terminal from the battery and wait 10 minutes to kind of reset the codes that you guys were seeing. There's a little bit of specifics here because I probably should have done it in the first place. Granted, I don't even know if that's gonna work. There also is a thing of knowing how to get the tamperage dot. And I want to explain that very carefully and very quickly. The only way you get a tamperage dot is if you drive a certain amount of miles on a cluster that is not coded to the car. Granted, the cluster I got doesn't need to be coded. There's a couple different things here. So again, as I was reading up, there's actually two different digital clusters that are from the 6WB. So there's called a 6WA, and then there's also called a 6WB. The 6WA is the one that's already got a fiber optic cable installed in it. So it's basically a direct plug and play. You still need to code it, but then the 6WB is without the fiber optic cable that has to come with the fiber optic cable to then go into the center console iDrive system to then be coded and be able to work. The one that I got from Amazon is supposedly just a plug and play. It was stupid easy to plug and play, but if it doesn't work, is it really plug and play? No. After doing this, I guess it's just time to start it up and see if it does anything. This is just gonna be so loud again. Here we go. Oh, well, the good news is this time it's reading the RPM. That's actually huge. Let me see. Oh, it works! I love that. Let's go, dude. You do have to unplug that battery. It works so much better. I still have all these different warnings. I'm assuming that'll probably go off at some point, but listen. And although I'm having problems with this new digital cluster, there's another problem that arose. You guys notice anything funky? If I move a little bit closer, maybe? Maybe the intercooler here? A little lopsided, huh? Yeah, well, somehow that screw on this side got disconnected. So I do want to go for a drive and make sure that that digital cluster works. But other than that, man, we're going to be very careful because that thing legitimately has to get put back. All right, let's see if it works. That's huge. It shows that I'm in drive. Oh, this thing works. Hopefully. It looks like it actually does, legitimately. Still I don't know why it's got so many. Front collision warning cannot be activated. Why? I'm a little bit confused. Maybe I do have to go a little bit faster, but works pretty well. I just hope the mileage goes up and down. Because if it doesn't, then we're fucked. So far, so good. Just wish that this shit would work. So what's turned in from a 15-minute ordeal has turned into a 2-night ordeal. And I want to share some things that I've learned. Firstly, no matter what digital cluster you have, you do have to code it to the car. However, if you get a 6WA or a 6WB, then you do have to get it coded before you can drive the car. The one that I got from Amazon just has to be coded in the way to have this thing recognize the chassis and the VIN number to the car. Currently, the issue I'm dealing with is the warning lights of the pedestrian warning light, head-on collision warning. Basically, those sensors are not matching up. So I can drive the car and it works perfectly fine, but I cannot, and I repeat, I cannot have those things turn off, no matter if I unplug the battery again or what. So yeah, there's that issue, but other than that, it works fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. A lot more upgrades coming, baby. Be prepared.